Hey my friends, it has been quite a while and we've got a lot of exciting updates for you today. The first is to let you know that this video is being recorded in Amana, Iowa. So we have trekked our way from Denver through Kansas City, where we spent the night with dear friends, and then all the way to Amana, Iowa. And we're about an hour from my parents and Allison's parents. And we have come to Iowa to begin a process of transitioning off the road. And it was also quite a rude awakening to get back into the part of the country where you can see the humidity. We're here in Iowa to start figuring out how to be done with full-time camper living and get back rooted somewhere in a city to keep going with where we're headed. So the big news is that we finally chose a city. We are moving to Des Moines, Iowa. And the main reason for that is family. As we were considering different locations, some of them just seemed too far away from our family, and we have a lot of family. We're excited to finally put down some new roots, and some of you are even in that area, and we would love to hear from you and get connected with you and even get advice from you about the city. As I had mentioned in previous videos, we've been trying to figure out how to increase our funding, and we've decided to go ahead and start doing some extra work. And so I have done some contracting work with the church in Cedar Rapids, where I'm helping lead worship and coach their worship leaders and musicians, and that's just started and is really helpful. And Allison just got hired as a full-time behavioral mental health technician in a psych hospital. And this is really cool. One part because obviously it supplements our income, but also this is critical experience for her resume, and it is going to pair very nicely with the Masters of Social Work that she's going to pursue, and she's applying for schools in Iowa even as we speak. All of these are ways for us to be able to make ends meet, start building a life in Des Moines, for me to also do ministry in Des Moines, even potentially plant a church, and continue working with Lark. Meanwhile, some of the things we've been doing in Iowa since we've been here, because we've been here for 2 months now, we've gotten to reconnect with a lot of family. We got to see my brother's family from Atlanta, so the Georgia Allens, and we've gotten to see James and Joy came out from Denver, as well as on the same weekend when David's kids, Stalzer kids, were at Sue and Daryl's house. So we had a lot of family. The kids got to do a lot of fun stuff with their cousins. The boys have been playing baseball nonstop. The girls are playing with all kinds of things and reading books and drawing and writing all manner of things in books and journals and colors and whatnot. We've spent a lot of time going back and forth to the library, and the kids are excelling at reading, and they really love it. So we're very excited about that. We just signed the boys up for their first ever baseball team in Des Moines, and could not be more excited about that. They're gonna have an absolute blast, especially getting prepped for it. So a couple of updates for what I've been doing with Lark that I think are really very exciting. The first is that I have been working hard to develop a cohort. It's going to be a 12-week experience for people who sign up, who are wanting to press in on what freedom in Jesus looks like in everyday life and passing that on to other people. So I will be walking potentially 2, maybe at the most 3 different groups of people, 3 different cohorts through our Reclaim book that Russ and Tony wrote, and then with a bunch of added material along the way. So I'll be leading conversations, starting coaching relationships, and really putting a lot of effort and time into some of those more formal group, most of them online, conversations for training people. So that's great. That is all coming together, and we're going to launch that possibly within the next week. It may take a little longer than that, but we're going to get that rolling and get it out and into the wild. I'm also becoming a contributing author to a book, and this is one of the books that Russ and Tony wrote in the past. It's pretty old, and so it needs a lot of updating, and so I'm contributing 1 and maybe 2 chapters. We'll see how the whole project goes, but very excited about that. And I've also been doing a ton of other studying and writing for our network, for the resources we provide people, for the blog, and a lot of it's not even out yet because it's still being formed into a toolbox, a toolkit of things that we are going to provide for people. So the studying and the reading gives me so much life, and I think I'm really good at that, and repackaging things to teach people and to train them. So that's been awesome. This is a really cool story I wanted to share with you. Through Lark, I was able to connect with someone who is a part of a global church planting network, and they have a group of people that are planting churches and leading churches in another country that I'm just not going to name for right now. And they invited me to come on and do a training with their pastors and their leaders, which was, I think, around 60 plus people, some on the call, some that will watch it after the fact. And I taught a primer for about an hour and a half with an interpreter, a primer on gospel conversations, what it means to proclaim the gospel, and how to equip people to do that in and through all of life, as opposed to just in very specific or highly spiritual moments or conversations. That's a big part of what I do with Lark, and I was able to package that into a 1.5 hour coaching Zoom call with a lot of people who didn't understand a word that I said. But the interpreter did a lot of really impressive and hard work. And the feedback I got after that was extremely encouraging, because they said that they've brought in some pretty big name authors and presenters to teach this group of people, and even people that we've read books by for our ministry, and they said this is one of the best teachings we've ever had, so thank you so much. And I was like really taken aback by that, but also grateful that, yeah, the work that I've been doing, it's there and it is paying off, and it is encouraging people everywhere. And that tool has the potential to go all over the place. The tool that I taught this group of people online in another language. It's a tool you can learn rapidly and can also spread rapidly in what it looks like to share good news and share the gospel with people. So that's awesome. I think that's an amazing opportunity that I got through Lark. So thank you for following us. Thank you for supporting us, as always. And pray for us in our time of transition. It has been a very nutty summer, and Allison starts work in about a week, and it's only going to get nuttier. Our goal is to be into a brick and mortar home, whether renting or buying, before Christmas, and we got to figure a lot of stuff out to make any of that possible. So your prayers and your encouragement along the way is so needed, and we're so grateful for that. We love you all. That's it for now. Peace.